Ladies and gentlemen, your life does not change when you wish for it. Your life does not shift just because you sit back and hope things will get better. If you want to change your life, you must be willing to step into the fire, face the storms, and push past the pain. Some of you have been stuck for far too long. You've been sitting in the same place, walking in the same circles. But hear me today, it's time to break free. It's time to shift your mindset, change your habits, and step into your destiny. Let me ask you, are you tired of living beneath your potential? Are you sick of watching others move forward while you stay behind? Then you've got to change the way you think, change what you do, and change who you surround yourself with. Change is uncomfortable. Change is painful. Change requires sacrifice, but nothing worth having comes without a cost. You can't expect a new life while holding on to old ways. You can't step into a fresh season while dragging the weight of your past. You've got to release what was so you can embrace what will be. I don't know who this is for today, but I need to tell you, you were made for more. You were created to live, not just survive. You were designed to thrive, not just get by. But if you don't make a decision to change, you will wake up a year from now in the exact same place. And that, my friend, is not what you were destined for. Your life will change when you get up, rise up, and declare, enough is enough. I refuse to stay where I am. I refuse to live beneath my calling. I refuse to settle for less when God has more for me. Let me tell you something, your life will never rise higher than your mindset. Your mind is the battlefield where victories are won and where defeats are accepted. If you want to change your life, you must first change your thinking. You cannot keep holding on to old mindsets and expect new breakthroughs. You cannot keep entertaining negative thoughts and expect to walk in positive results. You see, some of you have been praying for a new life, a new season, a new opportunity, but your mind is still stuck in the past. Your body is here in the present, but your mind is trapped in what was. And as long as you keep thinking the same, you will keep living the same. Your mind is the steering wheel of your life. And wherever your thoughts go, your life will follow. The problem with most people is not that they lack opportunity. It's not that they don't have the talent or the ability. It's that they don't believe they can go higher. They don't believe they deserve better. They have conditioned themselves to think small, to live small, to expect you receive little. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. If you think you are a failure, you will act like a failure. If you think you are not good enough, you will shrink back when opportunities come. If you think you are stuck, you will settle for less than what God has for you. But when you change your mindset, everything shifts. When you start believing that you were created for more, doors begin to open. When you start walking with confidence, you begin to attract favor. When you start thinking differently, your life starts to align with your thoughts. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but somebody needs to hear this. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not what people said about you. You are not the labels they placed on you. You are not the failures you have experienced. You are greater. You are stronger. You are more than enough. But if you don't change your mindset, you will keep living beneath your potential. Let me give you an example. Imagine a man who was born and raised in poverty. All he ever saw was struggle. All he ever heard was talk of lack. Every day of his life, he was told, we don't have enough. We can't afford that. Life is hard. Rich people are greedy, and people like us don't succeed. These words planted seeds in his mind, and those seeds grew into a belief system. He grows up believing that success is out of reach, that abundance is not for him, that he will always struggle just like his parents did. So when opportunities come, he doesn't take them. When ideas come, he talks himself out of them. When he sees others succeed, he feels like it's impossible for him. Not because he doesn't have the ability, but because his mindset is holding him hostage. On the other hand, take someone who grows up hearing, you are a winner, you can do anything, opportunities are everywhere, you are created for greatness. That person, even when they face difficulties, believes they can overcome. Even when doors close, they keep knocking. Even when things go their way, they refuse to quit. Why? Because their mind is programmed for success. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant grows. If you plant doubt, fear, and negativity, that is what will grow. But if you plant faith, confidence, and determination, that is what will grow. Some of you have been watering weeds for years. You've been feeding thoughts of, I can't, it's too late, I'm not good enough, and it will never change. But today, I declare it's time to uproot those weeds. It's time to dig out every lie, every negative thought, every limiting belief, and replace them with the truth. Here's the truth. You are powerful, you are capable, you are worthy, you are enough. You were created for a purpose. Your dreams are possible. Your past does not define you. Your failures do not disqualify you. Your best days are ahead of you, but you have to believe it. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what mistakes you've made. I don't care what obstacles stand in your way. If you shift your mindset, you can shift your life. You have the power to retrain your mind. You have the ability to speak differently, to think differently, to expect differently. But it won't happen by accident. You have to be intentional. Be careful what you allow into your mind. Stop listening to negativity. Stop entertaining self-doubt. Stop repeating toxic thoughts. What you listen to shapes how you think. Feed your mind with wisdom, encouragement, and truth. Every morning, declare victory over your life. Say, I am strong, I am blessed, I am capable, I am chosen. I am successful. Your words have power. Stop speaking defeat and start speaking faith. Stop telling yourself what you can't do. Stop making excuses. Stop settling for less than you deserve. Expand your vision. Dream bigger. Expect greater. When a negative thought enters your mind, don't let it stay. Challenge it. Replace it with truth. If you think, I'll never be successful, replace it with truth. I am walking in success. If you think, I'll always be stuck, replace it with, I am stepping into new levels. You cannot change your mindset while staying around people who think small. Get around people who challenge you, who uplift you, who push you toward greatness. You will never change your mindset if you keep doing the same things. Push yourself. Read new books, take on new challenges, speak up, try new things, stretch yourself. Changing your mindset doesn't happen overnight. But if you commit to it, if you wake up every day determined to think differently, little by little, you will transform your life. Somebody needs to hear this. It is not too late. You are not too old. You have not missed your chance. The only thing standing between you and your breakthrough is your mindset. And today is the day to change it. I dare you to think differently. I dare you to believe in yourself. I dare you to rise up and say, I am changing my mindset, and because of that, my whole life is about to change. This is your moment, this is your season, this is your time. Change your mindset and watch how everything else follows. This version carries the fire, energy, and impact you want it. Let me know if you'd like any tweaks. Let me tell you something. Who you surround yourself with will determine how far you go in life. You cannot soar with eagles if you keep running with chickens. You cannot climb higher if you're constantly tied to people who want to keep you low. You cannot expect greatness when you spend your time with those who settle for mediocrity. If you want to change your life, you must change your circle. Look around you. The people in your life are either pushing you forward or pulling you back. They are either feeding your faith or fueling your fears. They are either lifting you up or dragging you down. Some of you have been stuck, not because you lack talent, not because you lack opportunity, but because you are connected to the wrong people. Your circle matters. The company you keep matters. Your environment matters. You cannot expect to grow when you're surrounded by people who don't want to grow. You cannot expect to elevate when you're surrounded by people who are comfortable being stuck. You cannot expect to see change in your life while holding on to relationships that keep you bound. Some of you have been carrying dead weight for far too long, and it's time to let go. See, when God wants to bless you, he sends people. But when the enemy wants to block you, he also sends people. And if you're not careful, you will find yourself holding on to relationships that are not meant for your next season. Some of the people you started with were only meant for a part of your journey, not the whole trip. But because of loyalty, because of comfort, because of fear, you've been holding on to what God told you to release. You wonder why you feel drained. You wonder why your dreams feel delayed. You wonder why your vision feels blurred. It's because you are connected to people who don't feed your spirit. You are surrounded by those who don't celebrate your growth, who don't believe in your vision, who don't encourage you to be better. And as long as you stay in the wrong circle, you will continue to fight unnecessary battles. Those who add to you. They inspire you, uplift you, challenge you to be better. These are the ones who celebrate your wins, support your dreams, and push you toward greatness. Those who subtract from you, they drain you, discourage you, and bring negativity into your space. These are the ones who criticize your dreams, feed your fears, and keep you stuck in the past. Those who multiply you, they expand your vision, increase your wisdom, and elevate your mindset. These are the ones who introduce you to new opportunities, challenge you to think bigger, and help you grow. The question is, who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you walking with people who sharpen you? Or are you connected to those who dull your edge? Are you around those who push you higher or those who keep pulling you back? If you want to know where your life is headed, take a look at your 5 closest friends. Their habits, their mindset, their ambition, it's rubbing off on you whether you realize it or not. If they are dreamers, you will become a dreamer. If they are complainers, you will become a complainer. If they are people who make excuses, you will find yourself making excuses. Your circle is shaping your future. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but I've known these people my whole life. We grew up together. They've always been there for me. And while that may be true, hear me. Just because someone was good for your past does not mean they are good for your future. You can love people and still outgrow them. You can appreciate what they meant to you and still recognize that they are no longer aligned with where you are going. Some of you have been trying to hold on to friendships that expired years ago. You've been trying to fit into spaces that no longer match your growth. And the more you hold on, the heavier it becomes. If you want to change your life, you must be willing to make hard choices. You must be willing to distance yourself from those who don't serve your purpose. You must be willing to walk alone for a season if it means protecting your future. You must be willing to say no to small-minded conversations, no to negativity, no to relationships that drain you, no to people who don't believe in your dream. And let me say this, you don't have to cut people off with bitterness. You don't have to burn bridges. You don't have to create drama. But you do have to set boundaries. You do have to guard your energy. You do have to be intentional about who has access to your life, because at the end of the day, your destiny is too important to be sacrificed on the altar of bad company. You were created for greatness. You were designed for more. But you will never reach your full potential if you stay connected to those who keep you comfortable. Growth requires discomfort. Elevation requires separation. If you are serious about changing your life, you must be willing to surround yourself with people who push you to be better, who challenge your excuses, who hold you accountable, who inspire you to dream bigger. Do they push me to grow, or do they keep me stagnant? Do they inspire me, or do they drain me? Do they encourage my dreams, or do they plant seeds of doubt? Do they celebrate my success, or do they secretly hope I fail? If the people in your life are not helping you grow, they are keeping you stuck. And if they are keeping you stuck, you need to start making adjustments. Some of you are afraid to change your circle because you don't want to be alone. But hear me, it is better to walk alone for a season than to be surrounded by people who are leading you nowhere. It is better to stand by yourself than to sit in a room full of those who don't respect your vision. It is better to wait for the right connections than to hold on to relationships that are toxic to your future. The moment you change your circle, you will notice your life start to shift. You will see your mindset elevate. You will feel your energy increase. You will notice new opportunities open, because when you align yourself with the right people, they bring out the best in you. They remind you of who you are. They hold you to a higher standard. They don't let you settle for less. I challenge you today, take a hard look at your circle. If the people around you are not pushing you toward greatness, it's time to find a new circle. If they don't challenge you to be better, it's time to create some distance. If they don't celebrate your growth, it's time to move forward without them. This is your season of elevation. This is your moment of transformation, but you will never step into your next level if you are still tied to people who belong to your last level. Change your circle and watch how your life begins to change. This is written in the fiery, motivational style you requested. Let me know if you'd like any refinements. If you want to change your life, you must change your habits. Your future is not shaped by what you do occasionally. It is shaped by what you do consistently. Your success, your growth, your transformation, it all comes down to what you do day after day. Some of you are waiting for a breakthrough, waiting for things to change, waiting for a miracle. But let me tell you something. You don't need a miracle as much as you need discipline. You don't need another motivational speech as much as you need a commitment to new habits. Your habits are either working for you or working against you. They are either pushing you toward your goals or pulling you away from them. You cannot expect to see change while repeating the same patterns. You cannot pray for a better life while holding on to destructive habits. Your habits are creating your future, whether you like it or not. Look at your daily routine. Look at how you spend your time. Look at what you do in the quiet moments when nobody is watching, because what you do in private will determine the results you see in public. You cannot expect to rise higher if your daily habits are keeping you low. You cannot expect to move forward if your habits are keeping you stuck. Some of you have been asking, why isn't my life changing? Why do I keep struggling? Why does it feel like I take one step forward and two steps back? And the answer is simple. Your habits have not changed. You cannot escape the results of your daily decisions. The habits you repeat every day are the foundation of your future. If you want to change your life, you don't need to wait for a new year, a new season, or a perfect moment. You need to change what you do today because your future is built in the present. Your habits today will determine your results tomorrow. Think about it. Successful people are not just lucky. They don't just stumble into greatness. They have mastered the power of habits. They have trained themselves to do the hard things, the necessary things, the uncomfortable things. They wake up early. They set goals. They work when others sleep. They push past feelings of laziness. They stay disciplined even when they don't feel like it. They have built habits that lead to success. But on the other hand, people who stay stuck in life also have habits that keep them in the same place. They sleep too much, they procrastinate, they waste time, they scroll through social media for hours, they complain, they make excuses, they put off what they should be doing today. And then they wonder why their life never changes. Listen to me. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habit. You can have big dreams, you can have powerful visions, but if your daily habits do not align with those dreams, you will never see them come to pass. It's not about motivation, it's about consistency. Because motivation comes and goes, but habits stay. Motivation will make you excited for a moment, but habits will determine whether you follow through. You don't need another burst of inspiration. You need to build a lifestyle that reflects the person you want to become. Let me make it plain. If you want to be successful, study the habits of successful people. If you want to be healthy, study the habits of healthy people. If you want to be financially free, study the habits of people who have built wealth, because success leaves clues. And if you follow the right habits, you will begin to see the right results. But here's the truth. Not all habits are easy to change. Some of the habits you've been carrying have been with you for years. Some of them were passed down from your parents. Some of them were shaped by your environment. Some of them were created out of survival. But hear me, you do not have to be a prisoner of your old habits. Just because you've been doing something for years does not mean you have to keep doing it. Just because you grew up with bad financial habits does not mean you have to stay broke. Just because you were raised around negativity does not mean you have to be negative. You have the power to change your habits. And when you change your habits, you change your life. It starts with small decisions. If you want to wake up earlier, start by setting your alarm 10 minutes earlier each day. If you want to eat healthier, start by making one small change in your diet. If you want to read more, start with just 5 minutes a day. Because success is not built overnight. It is built in the little choices you make every single day. Some of you have been trapped in the cycle of bad habits for too long. You keep saying, I'll do it tomorrow. You keep saying, I'll start next week. You keep saying, one more time won't hurt. But let me ask you, how many tomorrows have already passed? How many times have you delayed your own growth? How many times have you held yourself back because you were unwilling to break the habits that were keeping you stuck? Enough is enough. It's time to take control of your habits. It's time to stop letting bad habits rob you of your future. It's time to stop making excuses and start making progress, because your life will never change until your habits change. You need to make a decision today. What habits are you going to build, and what habits are you going to break? What habits are bringing you closer to your destiny, and what habits are pulling you away from it? Be honest with yourself. Identify the habits that are no longer serving you and make the commitment to let them go. And let me say this, it won't be easy. Breaking old habits will challenge you. It will stretch you. It will require discipline. You will have moments where you want to go back. Moments where you feel like giving up. But if you stay consistent, if you stay committed, if you keep pushing, you will see the change you've been praying for. No more procrastination, no more self-sabotage, no more waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. The right time is today. This is the season to build new habits, to create a new routine, to step into a new way of living. This is your moment to change your habits, and when you change your habits, you will change your life. So I challenge you, take a good look at your habits. Take a good look at what you do every day, because your daily habits are shaping your future. And if you want a better future, you must start by building better habits. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment. Change your habits and watch your life transform. This is a high energy, powerful message in the style of T.D. Jakes, just as you requested. Let me know if you need any refinements. The things you speak shape the world around you. The words that come out of your mouth are not just sounds, they are seeds. Every time you open your mouth, you are planting something into your life, into your future, into your relationships, into your destiny. If you want to change your life, you must first change your words. Some of you have been speaking defeat over your own life for far too long. You've been talking about how hard things are, how nothing ever works out for you, how you'll never get ahead, how you're always struggling, and then you wonder why you stay stuck. You wonder why nothing changes. It's because your words are working against you instead of working for you. Listen to me. You cannot speak defeat and expect victory. You cannot speak failure and expect success. You cannot speak sickness and expect health. The words you speak are shaping the reality you live in. If you don't like what you see in your life, take a closer look at what you've been saying. Every time you say, I can't, you're building a wall between you and your destiny. Every time you say, I'm broke, you're reinforcing a mindset of lack. Every time you say, I'm not good enough, you're blocking the blessings that are already assigned to your name. Some of you are praying for a breakthrough, but your words are keeping you bound. Your words have creative power. When you speak, you are either giving life to something or you are killing it. You are either building or you are tearing down. You are either opening doors or you are shutting them. The question is, what are you creating with your words? See, what you say is a reflection of what you believe. If you constantly speak negatively, it's because negativity has taken root in your heart. If you always talk about what you don't have, it's because a mindset of lack has taken over your thoughts. But if you start changing your words, if you start declaring life over your situation, you will begin to shift the atmosphere around you. Some of you have been speaking about your problems more than you've been speaking about your purpose. You've been talking about what's wrong more than you've been talking about what's possible. You've been focusing on what's missing instead of focusing on what's already in your hands. And as long as you keep magnifying the problem, you will never see the solution. Let me tell you, your words set the tone for your life. You wake up in the morning, and if the first thing you say is, I don't feel like getting up, you have already started your day on the wrong foot. If you go into work saying, I hate this job, you have already positioned yourself for a miserable experience. If you constantly say, I'm tired, guess what? You will feel more tired. But if you wake up and say, today is going to be a great day, you are setting the tone for victory. If you declare, I am blessed and highly favored, you are aligning yourself with success. If you say, I am full of energy, strength, and wisdom, you will begin to feel that energy manifest in your life. Your words are either empowering you or they are weakening you. Some of you need to go on a negativity fast. You need to make a commitment that for the next 30 days, you will not speak one negative word about yourself, about your future, or about your situation. You need to train yourself to speak life, to declare abundance, to call things into existence, even when you don't see them yet. Because here's the truth, your words create your world. If you keep saying you're not good enough, you will start believing it. If you keep saying nothing ever works out for you, you will keep seeing failure. But if you start declaring success, if you start speaking words of faith, if you start calling yourself victorious, your life will begin to align with your words. It's not magic. It's not just positive thinking. It's a principle. What you speak, you attract. What you focus on, you will see more of. If you keep complaining, more things will come to make you complain. But if you start speaking gratitude, more things will come to make you grateful. Some of you are surrounded by negativity because that's all you ever talk about. You sit around with your friends and all you do is complain. You spend hours talking about everything that's wrong. And then you wonder why your life feels heavy. Your words are creating an atmosphere that you have to live in. If you want to change your life, you must change the conversation. Start speaking about solutions instead of problems. Start talking about possibilities instead of limitations. Start declaring victory instead of defeat. The words you speak today will shape the reality you live in tomorrow. And let me tell you something. It's not just about what you say to yourself. It's also about what you say to others. Some of you have been tearing people down with your words and don't even realize it. You've been speaking negativity into your children, into your relationships, into your family, into your business. And then you wonder why there's so much tension, so much struggle, so much division. You cannot expect love when your words are filled with bitterness. You cannot expect unity when your words are filled with criticism. You cannot expect support when your words are filled with doubt. Your words are either building bridges or burning them. So I challenge you today, change the way you speak. Start speaking life. Start speaking hope. Start speaking success. Start speaking healing, even when you don't feel it, even when you don't see it, even when everything around you looks like the opposite. Declare it anyway, because your words have the power to shift your reality. This is not about denying reality. It's about shaping reality. It's about speaking what you want to see instead of what you're afraid of. It's about declaring what is possible instead of what is impossible. It's about aligning your words with where you want to go instead of where you've been. Let me say this, changing your words takes practice. You won't get it right all the time. You might slip up and say something negative, but the key is to catch yourself and correct it. When you notice yourself speaking doubt, replace it with faith. When you catch yourself complaining, replace it with gratitude. When you hear yourself saying, I can't, stop and say, I can. Because the moment you start changing your words, your mindset will shift, your energy will change, your opportunities will increase, your life will begin to transform. The words you speak are powerful, and when you start using them intentionally, you will begin to walk into the life you were meant to live. This is your season to shift. This is your moment to align your words with your destiny. Change your words and watch how your life begins to change. This is written in the powerful motivational style you requested. Let me know if you need any adjustments. If you want to change your life, you must change your routine. Your destiny is hidden in your daily decisions. What you do every single day is either pushing you toward your purpose or pulling you away from it. You cannot expect a different outcome while repeating the same routine. You cannot step into a new season with the same old habits. If you want to see transformation, you must start by changing your routine. Too many people live their lives on autopilot. They wake up, do the same things, go through the motions, and wonder why nothing changes. They have settled into a routine that is comfortable but not productive, familiar but not fruitful. And they keep hoping for something new, something better, something greater, but they refuse to change the way they live each day. You cannot expect new results with the same old routine. Look at your routine. Look at how you start your day. Look at how you spend your time. Look at the small habits that make up your morning, your afternoon, your evening. Because whether you realize it or not, your routine is creating your reality. If your routine consists of waking up late, scrolling on your phone for an hour, rushing through your morning, barely making it to work or school on time, complaining about the day ahead, what kind of life do you think you are building? If your routine includes procrastination, distraction, laziness, and excuses, how do you expect to reach your goals? Your routine is either preparing you for success or setting you up for struggle. If you want to change your future, start by changing your morning routine. How you start your day sets the tone for everything else. Instead of waking up and grabbing your phone, what if you started with prayer, gratitude, or affirmations? Instead of hitting the snooze button 5 times, what if you got up with discipline? Instead of rushing through your morning, what if you created a system that allows you to start your day with clarity, peace, and purpose? Some of you are looking for a breakthrough, but your routine is keeping you in bondage. You want financial freedom, but your routine includes wasting money instead of managing it wisely. You want a healthier body, but your routine includes skipping workouts and eating whatever's convenient. You want a stronger mind, but your routine includes binge watching TV instead of reading and learning. Your routine determines your results. You don't become successful by accident. You don't become fit by accident. You don't become disciplined by accident. Every great person you admire has built a routine that aligns with their goals. They have trained themselves to do what is necessary, even when they don't feel like it. And let me tell you something, you will never feel like it all the time. This is why discipline is more important than motivation. Motivation will get you started, but discipline will keep you going. And discipline is built through routine. When you create a structure for your life, when you stick to a schedule, when you prioritize what matters, you will begin to see progress. Let me ask you, what is your nighttime routine like? Because how you end your day is just as important as how you start it. Do you stay up late watching random videos, scrolling endlessly on social media, wasting time on things that don't matter? Or do you take time to reflect, to plan for the next day, to unwind in a way that sets you up for success, that if you go to bed late, you will wake up tired? If you end your day in chaos, you will start the next day in disorder. If you never take time to review your progress, you will keep repeating the same mistakes. A strong evening routine is the foundation of a powerful morning. And let me say this, changing your routine will be uncomfortable at first. Your mind and body are used to a certain way of doing things. The first few days you may feel resistance, you may feel tired, you may feel like giving up, but if you push through, if you stay committed, if you show up every day for yourself, your routine will become second nature. Some of you have been trapped in routines that do not serve you, routines that were passed down to you, routines that you picked up from your environment, routines that are based on survival, not success, and you wonder why you feel stuck. It's time to break the cycle. Don't just live the same year over and over again and call it a life. Don't let your past routines dictate your future results. Don't let what is comfortable keep you from what is possible. Change your routine and you will change your life. You need to be intentional about how you spend your time. You need to be mindful of what you allow into your day. You need to take control of your schedule instead of letting life happen to you. Create a routine that aligns with your purpose. Start with small changes. If you want to wake up earlier, Don't try to change everything overnight. Set your alarm just 10 minutes earlier each day. If you want to start exercising, don't try to go from 0 to 2 hours a day. Start with 10 minutes. If you want to read more, don't force yourself to finish a book in a day. Start with just a few pages. Success is built through small, consistent changes in your routine. And here's the key. Stick to it. Because a new routine will only work if you stay committed. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. Even when you miss a day, get back on track. Even when it feels hard, push through. Because on the other side of consistency is transformation. You don't need to wait for a new year, a new month, or a special occasion to change your routine. You can start today. You can decide right now that you are no longer going to live on autopilot. You can decide right now that you are going to be intentional about your time, your habits, your energy. Stop letting distractions steal your future. Stop letting laziness rob you of your destiny. Stop letting bad habits dictate your results. Take control of your life by taking control of your routine. Because when you change your routine, when you build habits that align with your vision, everything shifts. You start waking up with energy. You start moving with purpose. You start seeing progress where there was once stagnation. You start stepping into the person you were created to be. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your time to shift. Change your routine and watch how everything else begins to fall into place. Your life is a direct reflection of what you are committed to. The results you see today, the success, the struggles, the victories, the setbacks are all tied to what you have consistently given your time, energy, and focus to. If you want to change your life, you must first change your commitments. Some of you have been wondering why nothing is changing. You've been frustrated because you're not seeing the progress you desire. You've been praying for a breakthrough, asking for new opportunities, hoping for transformation, but the truth is, your current commitments are keeping you in the same place. See, commitment is more than just what you say, it's what you show up for every single day. It's what you prioritize. It's what you are willing to sacrifice for. It's what you continue to do even when you don't feel like it. If you are not where you want to be in life, the first question you need to ask yourself is, what am I really committed to? Some people say they want success, but their commitment is to comfort. They are more committed to staying in their safe zone than they are to pushing forward. Some say they want financial freedom, but their commitment is to spending recklessly instead of saving and investing wisely. Some say they want a healthy body, but their commitment is to eating whatever they crave and skipping workouts. Your life follows your commitments. If you want a different life, you need to make different commitments. You need to stop committing to things that are keeping you stuck. You need to stop committing to people who drain your energy. You need to stop committing to habits that are destroying your potential. Some of you have been committed to excuses instead of excellence. Every time you start something new, you find a reason why it won't work. Every time you face a challenge, you allow yourself to quit. Every time you get an opportunity, you let fear talk you out of it. But if you keep making excuses, you will keep missing out on the life you were meant to live. What if you stopped making excuses and started making adjustments? What if instead of saying, I don't have time, you committed to managing your time better? What if instead of saying, I'm not good enough, you committed to learning and growing? What if instead of saying, it's too hard, you committed to pushing through until you see results? Some of you have been committed to distractions instead of destiny. You are giving too much of your time to things that don't matter. Mindless scrolling, gossip, entertainment, temporary pleasures, while neglecting the things that will actually move your life forward. You cannot expect greatness while committing to mediocrity. You have to get serious about what you give your time to. Every minute you spend on something that doesn't serve your future is a minute you can't get back. Every hour wasted on distractions is an hour you could have used to build, to learn, to grow, to develop. Your commitments determine your results. Some of you have been committed to the wrong people. You are loyal to people who do not push you forward. You are keeping company with people who drain you, distract you, and discourage you. Listen to me. You cannot commit to greatness while staying connected to people who are comfortable with average. If you want to elevate, you need to commit to relationships that challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable. Surround yourself with people who are going where you want to go. Get around people who make you want to be better. Stop committing to friendships and relationships that keep you stuck in the same cycles. Now let's talk about what you should be committed to, because commitment is not the enemy. Misplaced commitment is. When you commit to the right things, when you align your focus with your purpose, when you dedicate yourself to something greater, your whole life shifts. You need to commit to discipline. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up, days when you don't feel like putting in the work, days when motivation is nowhere to be found. But success does not belong to the motivated. It belongs to the disciplined. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. If you commit to discipline, your future will be unstoppable. You need to commit to excellence. Some people do just enough to get by. They settle for average. They put in minimum effort and expect maximum results. But listen, what you put in is what you get out. If you commit to doing things with excellence, if you commit to giving your best effort in everything you do, doors will start to open that you didn't even expect. You need to commit to growth. Too many people stop growing once they reach a certain level. They stop learning, they stop evolving, they get comfortable where they are and refuse to stretch themselves any further. But growth is the key to transformation. You have to commit to learning something new every day. Commit to reading, commit to improving your skills, commit to developing your mindset. Because if you are not growing, you are dying. You need to commit to consistency. This is where most people fail. They start strong, but they don't stay consistent. They work hard for a few weeks, then fall off. They get excited about a new goal, then lose focus when things get tough. But listen, success is built on consistency, not intensity. It's not about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do every single day. If you commit to showing up, if you commit to staying the course, if you commit to pushing through, even when you don't see results right away, eventually you will win, because consistency beats talent. Consistency beats luck. Consistency beats every obstacle that stands in your way. Finally, you need to commit to your vision. Too many people are committed to things that don't align with their true purpose. They are committed to pleasing others, to fitting in, to chasing things that don't even fulfill them. But what would happen if you fully committed to the vision that's in your heart? What would happen if you stopped half committing to your dreams and went all in? What if you stop second guessing yourself and fully embrace your calling? What if you stop playing small and committed to showing up as the best version of yourself? Because here's the truth. Whatever you commit to will shape your life. If you commit to negativity, you will see more negativity. If you commit to fear, you will stay stuck. If you commit to growth, you will evolve. If you commit to excellence, doors will open. If you commit to discipline, success will follow. So today I challenge you, examine your commitments. Look at where your time, your energy, and your focus are going. Be honest with yourself. And if your commitments are not leading you toward the life you desire, change them. You have the power to shift your future. You have the power to break the cycle. You have the power to make new commitments that align with your purpose. But it starts with a decision to stop settling, a decision to stop making excuses, a decision to stop giving your time to things that don't serve you. This is your season to commit to something greater. This is your moment to align with your purpose. This is your time to step into the life you were created for. Change your commitments and you will change your life. Your life is not just shaped by what happens to you, it is shaped by how you see what happens to you. Two people can go through the exact same experience and come out with completely different outcomes, all because of their perspective. The way you interpret life, the way you process struggles, the way you perceive yourself and your future, these things will determine whether you rise or whether you stay stuck. If you want to change your life, you must change your perspective. Some of you have been looking at life through the wrong lens. You have been seeing challenges as obstacles instead of opportunities. You have been seeing rejection as a setback instead of redirection. You have been seeing failure as the end instead of a lesson. And because your perspective is limited, your potential is limited. Your perspective is the lens through which you see the world. If your lens is cracked, everything you see will be distorted. If your lens is covered in fear, everything will look dangerous. If your lens is clouded by past pain, everything will feel like a threat. But if you change your perspective, if you shift the way you see things, you can unlock a completely different level of life. Too many people let obstacles stop them. They hit a challenge and assume that means they should quit. They face resistance and believe it means they are on the wrong path. But what if I told you that obstacles are not there to stop you? They are there to shape you. Every struggle is a chance to grow. Every difficulty is an opportunity to develop new strength. Every hardship is preparing you for what is ahead. If you shift your perspective and start seeing problems as stepping stones instead of roadblocks, you will begin to move forward with confidence. Think about the most successful people in the world: athletes, business leaders, artists, innovators. Every single one of them has faced obstacles. But what separates them is that they saw those obstacles as opportunities. Instead of running from challenges, they ran toward them. Instead of letting setbacks define them, they used them as motivation. The truth is, life will always throw challenges your way. You can't control that. But you can control how you see them. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of saying, this is too hard, say, this is making me stronger. Shift your perspective and you will shift your results. One of the biggest reasons people stay stuck is because they are afraid to fail. They don't try new things because they don't want to look foolish. They don't take risks because they don't want to mess up. They don't pursue their dreams because they are afraid of falling short. But let me tell you something. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every great achievement has come through a process of trial and error. Every breakthrough has been built on lessons learned from failure. If you change your perspective on failure, you will no longer be afraid of it. You will see failure as feedback. You will see mistakes as learning opportunities. You will see setbacks as setups for comebacks. Think about a baby learning to walk. They fall over and over again, but do they quit? No. They get back up, they adjust, and they keep trying. Why? because they don't see falling as failure. They see it as part of the process. What if you adopted that same mindset in your life? What if instead of quitting every time you fail, you learned from it and kept going? Some of you have been frustrated because things are not happening as quickly as you want them to. You've been praying, working, pushing, and waiting, and you feel like nothing is moving. But let me tell you something. Delayed does not mean denied. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't happen. Just because your dream hasn't come to life yet doesn't mean it's not on the way. Some of you are thinking, maybe I missed my chance. No, you didn't. You are being prepared for what's ahead. Sometimes the delay is for your protection. Sometimes the delay is for your development. Sometimes the delay is because what you are asking for is bigger than what you are currently prepared to handle. If you got everything you wanted right now, would you even be ready for it? Change your perspective. See, the delay is preparation, not punishment. Instead of complaining about the wait, use the time to grow. Instead of getting discouraged, use the time to get better. When the time is right, everything will align and you will be glad you didn't rush the process. One of the biggest shifts in perspective you need to make is how you see yourself. Some of you are walking around with a low opinion of yourself. You doubt your abilities. You talk yourself out of opportunities. You shrink when you should be standing tall. But let me remind you, you were created with purpose. You were designed for greatness. You have everything you need inside of you to succeed, but your perspective is holding you back. If you see yourself as unworthy, you will settle for less. If you see yourself as incapable, you will never try. If you see yourself as small, you will never step into the big opportunities waiting for you. You must change how you see yourself. Start believing in your abilities. Start seeing yourself as valuable. Start speaking life over yourself instead of doubt, because the way you see yourself determines the way you show up in the world. Sometimes we get so caught up in what is happening right now that we forget there is a bigger picture. We focus so much on our current problems that we lose sight of our future possibilities. But let me tell you, what you are going through now is not the end of the story. The struggle you are facing today might be the very thing that prepares you for the breakthrough tomorrow. The pain you are feeling today might be what strengthens you for the blessing that is coming. If you change your perspective and start looking at the bigger picture, you will stop getting discouraged by temporary struggles. Think about it. When you are in the middle of a storm, all you see is the rain. But if you zoom out, you realize that the storm is watering the ground for something greater to grow. Some of you are in a storm right now, and all you see is the difficulty. But if you zoom out, you will see that something greater is being developed in you. Perspective is a choice. You can choose to see life as a burden, or you can choose to see it as a blessing. You can choose to focus on what's wrong, or you can choose to focus on what's possible. You can choose to stay stuck in negativity, or you can choose to elevate your thinking. When you change your perspective, you change your life. Doors that seemed closed will start to open. Situations that seemed impossible will start to shift. The weight you have been carrying will start to lift. Because the moment you start seeing things differently, you start living differently, this is your moment to shift. This is your time to see things with fresh eyes. This is your season to break free from limited thinking and step into a new way of seeing, believing, and moving forward. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the key that unlocks success, the foundation on which greatness is built. If you look at any person who has achieved something extraordinary, you will see a pattern. Discipline was at the core of their journey. Many people want success, but few are willing to embrace discipline. Many want the rewards, but they are unwilling to go through the process. They dream big, but fail to develop the habits necessary to turn those dreams into reality. Desire without discipline is just a wish. If you want to change your life, you must change your discipline. You must stop relying on motivation. Stop waiting to feel like doing the work and start training yourself to stay consistent even when it's hard. Because the truth is, success does not belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most disciplined. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they need to feel motivated to take action. They wait for inspiration to strike. They wait until they feel excited. But let me tell you something, motivation is unreliable. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you will wake up feeling ready to conquer the world. Other days you won't even want to get out of bed. But if your success is dependent on how you feel, you will never reach it. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades. Discipline is waking up early even when you want to sleep in. Discipline is going to the gym when you'd rather stay on the couch. Discipline is working on your craft when nobody is watching. Discipline is making sacrifices today so you can reap the rewards tomorrow. It is not about what you feel like doing. It is about what needs to be done. Some people think discipline is hard. They think it's restrictive. They think it takes too much effort. But have you ever thought about the cost of not being disciplined? Indiscipline has consequences. It leads to frustration, regret, and missed opportunities. If you are undisciplined with your finances, you will always struggle with money. If you are undisciplined with your health, you will face sickness and exhaustion. If you are undisciplined with your time, you will always feel overwhelmed and unproductive. The truth is, you are paying a price either way. You are either paying the price of discipline today or paying the price of regret tomorrow. One leads to growth, the other leads to stagnation. One leads to success, the other leads to mediocrity. Which price are you willing to pay? Some people think discipline is about big dramatic actions, but true discipline is built in the small daily choices you make. It's in the way you manage your mornings. It's in the way you stick to your commitments. It's in the way you handle distractions. If you cannot be disciplined in small things, you will struggle with big things. Success is not one massive leap. It is the result of daily habits stacked on top of each other. A person who exercises consistently for years will always be healthier than the person who works out hard for 1 month and then quits. A person who saves small amounts of money consistently will always be in a better financial position than the person who makes a lot of money but spends recklessly. What you do daily determines what you become permanently. If you want to change your life, start by changing your daily habits. Be disciplined in the small things, and the big things will follow. One of the biggest enemies of discipline is excuses. People have a reason for everything, why they can't wake up early, why they can't stick to a schedule, why they can't focus on their goals. But let me tell you something. As long as you have an excuse, you will always have a way out. Excuses are comfortable. They make us feel better about not taking action. They give us permission to stay the same. But excuses will never lead you to success. If you want to be disciplined, you have to eliminate the habit of justifying laziness, procrastination, and inconsistency. Instead of saying, "I don't have time," start saying, "I will make time." Instead of saying, "I'm not motivated," start saying, "I will show up anyway." Instead of saying, "I don't feel like it," start saying, "I will do it because it needs to be done." The moment you take full responsibility for your actions is the moment you unlock a new level of discipline. Discipline is not just about willpower, it is also about setting yourself up for success. If you are always surrounded by distractions, it will be harder to stay disciplined. If your environment does not support your goals, you will constantly struggle. Look around. What is in your environment that is keeping you from being disciplined? Is it social media constantly pulling you away from your work? Is it a negative circle of friends who encourage bad habits? Is it a lack of structure in your daily routine? Discipline starts with designing an environment that makes success easier. If you want to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in your house. If you want to be more productive, remove distractions from your workspace. If you want to wake up early, set your alarm across the room so you have to get up to turn it off. You don't have to rely on willpower alone. You can set yourself up to win by shaping your surroundings. Some people start strong, but they don't stay consistent. They begin a new habit, but after a few weeks, they fall off. They get excited about discipline for a while, but when things get tough, they quit. But let me tell you something. Consistency is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's not about how intense you are for a short time. It's about how consistent you are over a long time. The person who works on their craft for 30 minutes every day will always outperform the person who works for 5 hours once a month. The person who saves a little money every week will always end up wealthier than the person who spends recklessly and then tries to save in panic mode. Small disciplines done daily lead to massive results over time. You may not see immediate results, but if you stay consistent, success is inevitable. Some people think discipline is about punishment, but the truth is, discipline is one of the highest forms of self-love. When you are disciplined, you are choosing to do what is best for you in the long run, instead of what feels good in the moment. Discipline is choosing to say no to distraction so you can say yes to your future. Discipline is choosing to take care of your body instead of letting bad habits destroy it. Discipline is choosing to push yourself toward greatness instead of settling for average. When you are disciplined, you are showing yourself that you believe in your potential. You are proving to yourself that you are capable of more. Discipline is the ultimate act of investing in yourself. Discipline is not something that happens to you. It is something you choose. It is a decision you make every single day. And today, you have a choice. You can choose to keep making excuses, or you can choose to rise. You can choose to stay stuck in old habits, or you can choose to develop new ones. You can choose to stay the same, or you can choose to change your discipline and unlock your true potential. This is your moment. This is your time to step into a higher level of focus, consistency, and commitment. Change your discipline and you will change your life.